Call to order the commissioner meeting of Stokes County for November the 10th. Let's all stand and I will have the prayer. Precious Heavenly Father, thank you for the freedom we have to gather together and meet. Thank you for all the veterans that we, alive and dead, that help us keep this freedom. Be with us now as we conduct the business of the county. Give us wisdom, give us patience. Watch over us and give us a safe trip home. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, before I go forward, we need to make one adjustment. Where did it go? On the consent agenda, we need to break it down to two separate votes. The first vote will be on Budget Amendment 11 because Wayne cannot vote on that.
Okay.
And the other A, C, and B, we will vote on second. So do I hear a motion to vote on Budget Amendment 11?
You need a motion to approve the agenda.
Right.
Okay, I'll make a motion, we approve the agenda as amended.
Okay, that's good. It works. All in favor? Aye.
Did
That work?
anybody second that?
No?
Wayne's will second it. A second approval of the agenda.
All right, yes. I'm just gonna be quiet for a
Are you
minute.
thinking we need two separate approvals of the agenda?
At least I'm
Like
honest.
a motion to approve the consent agenda as it relates to
They will do
B
that.
and
Yeah.
then A, C, and D
Yeah, when it
separately?
gets to the consent
Okay.
agenda. I think they're just approving the
Just tracking
agenda
the
right now.
agenda.
Yes.
Thank you.
That as modified.
Right.
That's correct.
That's
Got it.
right.
Thank you.
We got there. We just went to do.
That's right.
Do we have any public comments?
Yes, we have two. Each speaker shall be allowed 4 minutes for public comments with the option to yield time to another speaker or add an optional minute depending on the number of speakers that have signed up while abiding by the 30-minute total time limit. All speakers shall maintain good decorum and show respect and good manners. Vulgar language, profanity, inappropriate gestures, insults, personal attacks, accusations, and inflammatory language is prohibited. The chairman of the board shall enforce these rules, and anyone not complying with these rules shall not be allowed to continue. At their discretion, members of the BOCC may address items from the public comments portion of the meeting during the commissioner comment period. First up, Katie Tedder.
You get 15 minutes and I get 15.
I don't know if I can stand that long. Tonight, Jason. Good evening. Katie Tedder, 1282 Coy Hall Road in the Quaker Gap community. This evening, I come to you as a member of the Executive Committee of Habitat for Humanity of Stokes County. The rest of our team is at an event this evening in Walnut Cove to kick off our next 5 home builds. After listening to your last meeting, we learned that an out-of-county nonprofit was interested in acquiring the school at Pine Hall and to potentially construct affordable housing. This could be a wonderful option for the Pine Hall community. However, before you decide to go with that out-of-county company, we would like the opportunity to have a formal discussion with Mr. Sanborn and Mr. Wood and Chairman Wood to do the same thing. And thank you, Colonel, for your service, and happy Veterans Day. As the local expert on affordable homes in Stokes County, Habitat would appreciate your consideration to hear from us before you make any formal decision on how to move forward with your purchase option on the property. While no formal discussions have taken place between Habitat and the Board of Education, they are aware of our interest as well. At the last meeting, the BOE voted to have the property appraised. It is our belief after that you maintain the first right of refusal to purchase the property at a price that could be negotiated between the two governing boards. The BOE is very interested in hearing public comment on future use of the property, but they state no parties have come before them. And I believe that this is a public confusion over the process of the sale of a school. Knowing what happened with the last sale and how the commissioners were involved in that. I think that the community just feels like you all have the final say-so in anything, and not that the Board of Education has to go first with that. So I feel personally, I just feel that that's why no one's gone to the BOE. But I've listened to the public comments that came before you a couple months ago, and as with any small community in our county, the people expressed fear that the property could potentially become an eyesore and a nuisance to their beloved community. They also expressed interest in honoring a deep-seated community partner, advocate, and protector of Stokes County, Sheriff Mike Joyce. They also stated they wanted to see the property used as a place for community gatherings and a place for children to play. And Sheriff Joyce's wife is here in the audience this evening. If allowed the opportunity, Habitat Stokes would work in partnership with the community of Pine Hall, building more affordable homes for Stokes County families to live, grow, and prosper for generations to come. I say this with significant caveats. First, we, Habitat, would need to formally request a meeting to discuss this with you. We would then need our full board approval to move forward with the pursuit. And any sale would be contingent on the cost of the demo or a part or all of the existing school, so we could construct as many homes as possible. Most importantly, we want input from the Pine Hall community to know what is their desired option for them moving forward. We strongly feel that if it is your desire to move forward with any purchase of the property for a nonprofit, the best choice would be to do so with your community partner and leader in affordable housing, Habitat of Stokes County. We would ensure that all facets of construction would be kept within the boundaries of the county. We have a wonderful team of community volunteers, trades, and vendors who would love the opportunity to do more for residents in need of affordable housing. One other thing that we would have to do, of course, is to have some sort of public meeting with the community to make sure that they don't have any misconceptions of what we do as Habitat. One last thing, if any member of the Pine Hall community or potential county tradesperson, vendor, or someone with a servant's heart willing to donate their time as a volunteer would like to learn more about Habitat of Stokes County, we invite you to join our first Habitat Connections meeting, and that is this Thursday, November 13th, beginning at 6 o'clock at the Habitat Restore on Old 52. I have flyers if anyone is interested, and thank you for your time this evening.
Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Jason Duncan, Pine Hall Community. I wish we knew what was going on in Pine Hall. The rumor mill is just tearing up the world. As a former chair of Habitat, I knew nothing about selling, or none of us in Pine Hall know anything that's going on. What I would appreciate more than anything, and I sent all the school board members a note today about this, let us know what you're going to do to us. I realize we live in the corner of the county. I realize our voting block is not real large. I realize we've got the two largest industries in the county down where we are. I also realize half our land don't perk. We need water and sewer. If we had water and sewer, you wouldn't be talking about this. You'd be building a new school instead of talking about what you're going to do with the old one. But we would love to know what's going on. You said in the earlier meetings, which do we want to work with, the school board or you? I don't know. I don't know the law. I don't know who's in charge of the building now. I hear they're getting estimates and may sell it. And once you put it on the public, once you start to sell it, it becomes anybody's ball game to buy it, I'm assuming. So I don't know what we're getting into, and I'd love for the people in Pine Hall to hear what's going on. We'll show up. We want to meet with you. This is not the forum we always want to meet with you at, though. We'd like to meet and talk and discuss Pine Hall business. where we are in things. Because I know, I've realized, I've lived down there 35, 36 years. I lived in Germany to start with. I know we have no political clout. Matter of fact, I went to a school board meeting 15, 20 years ago, made a presentation, and some lady asked me to move to the southern end of the county and teach. Well, Pine Hall's in the southern end. See, people don't even know where Pine Hall is. My theory at one time was take Sandy Ridge, Pine Hall, Madison, Medan, and make a county and call it Between the Rivers, because Madison, Medan is about the same way in Rockingham County as we are in Pine Hall. Remember us. We pay taxes. We're part of the process. We would like to have an opportunity to discuss with you what we want done, what we'd like to have. And as I told Mr. Chandler earlier, I will remind him constantly of the quotes in the newspaper about how nice the park is in in Francisco. Because if we don't get anything, we'd like at least to have that. But there's a lot of options you've got with that building. Matter of fact, I thought the other day you could move 911 down there and in one part of the building, free up some places up here. You got River Street running right in front of the building. You got plenty of tech stuff. It's just a lot of things you can do. Explore those options also. Thank you for your time. It's amazing not having a script and get through before the bell rings.
That concludes our public comments.
Okay, that brings us to the comments of our commissioners and manager. Jeff, you want to go first?
Had a great time in Montana. It's good to be back.
Welcome back. Welcome back. We didn't solve anything while you were gone.
I don't
Brad?
think we messed anything up too bad.
Brad? You're the only Brad we got.
You'd be surprised. Welcome everybody, and real quick, happy Veterans Day. We appreciate, our armed forces. We wouldn't be here if we didn't have the military, and they've sacrificed a lot. So be sure that I think King has an event tomorrow at 11.
Bring your coat.
So bring a heavy jacket, and come and make sure that the veterans know that we support them. And then the next thing, it's kind of along the same lines as, I think you all know I'm a strong supporter of public safety. And last Saturday morning, we lost another one here in North Carolina. He's a Wake Med police officer, and he was in the Garner facility, the emergency room department. It was about 9:30 Saturday. The SBI really hasn't released all the details yet of the total encounter, but from what they have released, it was a struggle with a suspect. 2 gunshots went off. One struck the officer, and he died there at the scene. And then the suspect, he was also shot, but he survived, and he underwent emergency surgery there at the hospital as well. So I'm looking forward to hearing some more of what the details were. But a little bit about the officer is he's been there about 12 years at Wake Med. Before that, 16 years with the Nightdale Police Department. Please remember him and his family, especially his family. Their life has changed forever. But it's just, please never, we take for granted, I even take for granted now, I've been out of law enforcement for a while now, I even take I take a lot for granted now too. We just expect our law enforcement officers to do what needs to be done to protect the public, no matter what the cost is. And it's very easy to go about our life and not see the bad things that happen in this great country of ours. And without the people like Officer Smith to lay his life down so the other part of the citizens, they're not the ones that's going to be a victim. So again, please remember them in your thoughts and prayers. And then one last quick thing is, if I could just, with the Pine Hall stuff, I'll be honest with you, I don't know what's going on with Pine Hall either, because there's no, at least with me, there's no communications from the school board. I mean, I hear more of the rumor mill people calling me up saying, hey, you listen to the school board meeting? Well, what's going on? Oh, they're talking about what they're going to do at Pine Hall and do this and do that and do this. I stand by what I said day one when the Pine Hall group came here. I'm not doing nothing until we have several meetings with Pine Hall. Nothing. I'm just one vote. But in my opinion, that is vital. We have to listen. When it comes down to whatever is decided, I mean, obviously if it's an all ball court, which unless something has happened that I don't know yet, the school board is not put it in our ball court. And I hate to say it, and I guess we can take 50% of the blame, but how come we're not, the school board and us, it doesn't need to be two boards, it just needs to be the chair and a chair or whatever, or how many people, and sit down and work this thing out instead of talking, and then we each other got to look at YouTube. I mean, for goodness sakes, we're in Stokes County. It don't take 2 hours to go somewhere and meet. It's embarrassing. So please don't think that that we're holding anything back, because we're not. We want to be brought into the loop too. And with that, I'll turn it over to you, Mr. Chair.
Thanks, Brad. Rick?
Thanks, Mr. Chair. Welcome everybody tonight. We got a pretty good crowd for such a cold night here in the audience, as well as hopefully a lot of folks online watching. I like to mention the veterans too. We do kind of just a lot of time out of sight and out of mind, but they are scattered all over the world doing amazing things to keep us safe, and they should always be in our thoughts and prayers every single day, because of the risks they take and the commitment they have to keeping the country free. So, on public comments, I appreciate you guys sharing your thoughts tonight. Katie's a very interesting concept with Habitat for Humanity. Jason, you mentioned perking, and I was going to mention that even before you said it. My experience out there is it's difficult to get land to perk, so I think just one of the due diligence things we need to do before we figure out, or whoever figures it out, is to understand what the capability of perking or not perking for that land is. But historically, it's been the most difficult place in the county to get land to perk. So hopefully some of this land will perk, though, for whatever reason. I agree with Brad what he said. If we end up being the ones who handle this issue with Pine Hall, then I think I agree with what Brad said about meeting with the community.
we have a precedent with what we did with Francisco School and how that was handled, and I think, to be fair, we gotta basically honor the same kind of things we did there with Pine Hall. And in that case, it included meetings for almost over a year with the community, numerous meetings between the county staff and the commissioners, and so I think that's probably the most important part of trying to come to some decision to make sure that we completely understand what the community wants out there. So I would, like I said, I would agree with him on that. The other thing is, it would be a good idea, and maybe Jennifer could help with this, but for all the folks that really have a stake in this, is to get out and read the general statutes on it. And I don't think they're that long, fairly precise stuff, but that's what we're going to have to go by, what's in those general statutes. And I think they might have changed a little bit since we did Francisco, but that's one of the things that would probably be helpful to, you know, for the community and everybody else to get familiar with that, so you can watch what we're doing, make sure we don't do anything that doesn't comply with the general statutes. So I'm anxious to kind of anxious to figure out who's going to do it and then get on with it, because it's just sitting there costing money, and we need to make some progress out there. So that's all I have, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Wayne?
Again, it's great to see everybody tonight, and reiterate what the other commissioner said about our veterans. It's great that those guys served and stayed serving, not getting paid any money. Most people work for a company, they put on home and said the heck with it, but just shows you what kind of sacrifice these guys do for our country. And people don't realize how lucky we are to have somebody that will work for nothing, especially in countries just far away from our country. That's really to be commended for. Touch on the Pine Hall School a minute, Commissioner Morris, Chandler. Your thing about Pine Hall being a small part of this county, I will represent Pine Hall just as quick as I will anybody else in this county. I can assure you of that. And I'm like the other two commissioners. Your input, or the folks in Pine Hall's input of what they would like to see, is what I want to see from that community. I don't live in Pine Hall, but I've been there. I know several of the guys in the fire service there, that I've been in the fire service 48 years in this county. So I know several of them. But that's what I want back from the community. You know, what y'all would like to see, you know, when it comes to the point of whatever's going to happen to the school. But always remember that I represent you completely. That's all I got.
Sonia?
As many of the other commissioners have said, we definitely want to focus on Veterans Day this week and everything that means to us as a community and us as a country, and definitely we owe a debt of gratitude to all who have served and who are currently serving, and we do appreciate their service. As far as Pine Hall, you know, last I heard, we were waiting on the school board to let us know what they plan to do, because I think we made them an offer of just like $1 for the school, just to let us take it back, because the general statutes have changed, and whereas in times past with Francisco, it reverted back to the county when the schools no longer had a use for it, and that's not the case anymore. So I feel like we're at their mercy waiting on them. They did not take our offer. We thought they might counter offer, but I guess I didn't learn till tonight they were getting it appraised. So maybe that once they get it appraised, they'll come back to us and give us another chance if we want to agree to buy it. And if not, I guess we'll have to do business with the school board on it and not us. So I mean, I'm like the other commissioners have said, if it ends up that it's us that takes it back or has it, then we would have a lot of meetings. I feel like with the community, I would definitely be in favor of wanting to know, what the community feels about it. I think Jason had a good idea about maybe us having meetings there in the community and not in this forum, so that we can get more like a town hall style meeting with the community. If it indeed ends up us being who has the say going forward with what happens there, I would definitely want your input. And it's like Wayne said, we are elected, we represent the whole county and not just one segment, so we want to hear what people have to say out there. And I appreciate Mike Joyce's family being here, and what they would like to see. I know I was there when when that garden, when the area there was, when we did that for Mike. And, I was there that day, and so, that means a lot. I think I purchased something, I don't remember what now, but I know we sold some stuff and purchased things to be there. Was it bricks? Maybe? Or pavers or something? Yeah. Yeah, the engraved pavers, yes, okay. And so, that's an important piece that we would want to preserve and figure out how to maintain that and keep that as part of that area. And I think, like Jason said, some type of park or something would be great to have there as well. And I feel like Habitat, if they were to be the ones who take it, and I would rather see it stay with some local entity like that than some outside group come in. So that would be my preference, and I think they would do it justice if they were the ones that got it. So that's all I've got.
Amber, you got anything?
Just thank you for being here, and I did want to remind the public that the county offices will be closed tomorrow, November 11th, in observance of Veterans Day.
Go ahead before I start.
Yes, these guys mentioned this appraisal. I wasn't aware of that either, but when we did Francisco, we didn't get an appraisal. We had our tax people do it. So I don't know how much that's costing, but if they hadn't done it already, we ought to be able to appraise it for them without having to expend money for that.
I don't know either. I don't know where they're at in that
I
process.
don't know where they're at in the process. So
No.
that's all I have.
I'd like to welcome everybody on the veterans. I don't think they deserve just one day. I think we need to honor them every day. That's how important that is. People of Pine Hall, I want your input, and I hope and pray to God that it don't take a year of meetings to make a decision. That would be pure torture in my book. So with that said, before moving any further, does anybody have a conflict of interest with any of the items on the agenda for tonight, or one that might be perceived as a conflict of interest?
That'd be your
Yeah.
one conflict.
Yes. The budget item 11 B. And also, again, what about the discussion agenda item A?
Let me pull that up real quick. Look at it.
I didn't read into it that much, Jeff.
I think it's
I think
okay
it's
for you to
more about funding.
I don't think that
participate in that one.
involves
Yeah.
any money.
It's about money
Yeah.
generally, so I think
Yeah.
you're okay to participate in that one.
I
Yes,
want to
sir.
make sure.
Yeah.
Right.
You're good.
With that said, do I hear a motion to approve the budget amendment number 11? And Wayne will not be voting.
Make a motion to approve budget amendment number 11.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the ballots A, C, and D, do I hear a motion to approve those part of the consent agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the A, C, and D.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Have we ever had no information agenda?
Rarely.
We don't, so let's go into discussion agenda. Amber, you're up.
Sure, thank you. So there was some confusion at the October 13th meeting regarding some of the fire commission appointments. I think some of the names got mixed up if I'm correct on that. And so what we need to do, if we could just reappoint some of these members that Olivia went over on the 13th, but make sure we do them correctly this time. And if we would just, we can move it to action after that and vote on it tonight, just so we can make sure they're appointed because their terms ended at the end of October. So the service member, 2 positions, Brad Mitchell, who's a current fire commissioner, and then Brock Wheeler, who's also a current fire commissioner. They're willing to continue serving. And then the civilian position, there's just 1 position for that open, and there's 2 applicants. So Bert Osteen, who is a current fire commissioner already, and then Josh Branscombe, who is a new applicant. So if we could just maybe do the service members, the 2 positions first for Brad Mitchell and Brock Wheeler. If we could just nominate those first, and then we can move on to the civilian positions.
I'm gonna nominate Mitchell and Wheeler.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Are we poll or just voting?
Oh, we can just move it to action and poll there,
All right,
just to
we'll
make
move
it
to action. Okay.
clear. Yeah. And then for the civilian position, there's 1 position open for 2025 for this. Bert Osteen is the current fire commissioner. He's willing to continue serving, and Josh Branscombe is the new applicant. So we just need 1. So I don't know if you want to. You can nominate both of them, and then when you poll the board, you can choose if that's easier.
Doesn't matter to me either.
Can I just have
What's
a,
input?
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
just need a motion to nominate then Bert Osteen and Josh Branscombe for the civilian position.
Make a motion to nominate both of them.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Thank you.
Move that to action also.
Yes, sir.
Which brings us to Pine Hall Elementary update. I don't know what more we can say.
Yeah.
I did look at the meeting of the school board on YouTube. The money they're talking about on the appraisal, it was in the powers of Dr. Rice. And I heard and I'm going by memory, so don't crucify me. $3,200 to $5,000 to get appraisal. I don't know whether he's done it or not. They were all in agreement on that, even though they didn't vote. So
I can also add that we have a third party that's contacted staff that may be interested in doing development there. And as I understand it, the project that they're looking at as a possibility is some sort of a light, for lack of better words, manufacturing capability in the school building itself that would employ predominantly veterans, and they would like to put in affordable veteran housing on the undeveloped portions of the property. At least that's my understanding. So sounds like we have 3 potential options out there where the parties that are maybe interested to do things there, and there may be more in the future as well.
Jason, y'all got anything to add since this has been
I just keep hearing these new things go out. I don't know that there's anything we can add right now.
Well, you're going to keep hearing these things because we're beating the bushes. We're trying to get what's best. Like, I was in the meeting of the first one, and I even made the comment. I says, the people of Pine Hall need a community center, and they have the gym. They got to be included. And of course, his comment was, oh, most definitely. So we got your interest at hand, but what we don't want to see is it go to a higher bidder and you got a junkyard there.
Exactly. And there's a bidder down there that might try to do that.
I'm not going to go there. But I
I'm not
agree.
going, I just made a comment. But you know, it's interesting. for me saying what little I know about government, you control the school board's purse strings. So whatever.
Don't
it
start a
is-
war now.
My question is, who has total control, the school board or the county commission pertaining to Pine Hall Elementary?
Right now.
I'll let Jennifer,
Right now,
I'll
the
go
school
through this
board
up.
has control of the property. The statute that Rick was referring to is NCGS 115C-518 for the disposition of school property. So that's the statute that we're looking at. And then that statute, the Board of Education can offer the property to the Board of Commissioners at either a fair market price or a price negotiated between the two boards. So where we are is in that first,
And then,
we've not officially been offered the property for an agreed upon price at this point, so
Yeah.
the school board still has
and
it.
this is totally different than what was in effect for Francisco.
Correct.
Correct. So the school board has total control, so they can do whatever they want without complying with whatever Pine Hall citizens want.
My understanding is if the county commissioners decide that they're not gonna agree to the school board's price, then at that point, the school board can then dispose of the property. But there are procedures that the school board has to follow too
yeah,
with the disposition of the property.
Is that all in
regardless
one
of which
statute?
party
It's in
disposes
the
of the
section
property,
one. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
You always
we've-
have that
we've-
option of changing the zoning laws.
yeah, or
I mean,
trouble.
now take this as don't take this wrong. The zoning laws that you don't enforce now, if you go to the racetrack.
Whoa.
yeah.
Sorry.
So regardless of which party ultimately disposes of the property, the general statutes are set up in a way that demand that our taxpayers get a fair market value for the property. So that's a consideration as well. We can't just pick up, an outcome and go with that. We're going to have to put it on the market and get a fair market value. There are ways that we can massage that outcome, and I'm sure we'll have those conversations going forward. But I think the intent of the general statutes is very, very good. But we do have to listen to the community and try to work toward the outcomes that you want to achieve as well.
And, when we did Francisco, we had to had that same requirement. We had it appraised, and in order to satisfy the community up there, we worked with the state and everybody else that had any authority over this to develop basically what was a grant program. It still had to meet that requirement of the fair market value for the citizens that Jeff just mentioned.
Yes.
Be better if you come up here where they can hear it on the TV.
I'm here with my mom tonight. My name's Mike Gibson, Mrs. Gail Joyce. Probably the last kid you'll ever see here. I drug her up here today. Our main concern is whatever happens, she wants the best for the community, but for the Mike Joyce Park to stay erect there for the Parks and Recreations community department to be able to maintain that as a legacy to Mike in honor of his 20 years of service and the wife's 20 years of service for the community. For the kids, and she said she was up there just the other day driving by to make sure Mike's monument was still there, and she thought it would be great to have grills and a place for people to have reunions there. So, thank you.
We could put that in the deed, couldn't we? You consider me for supporting that if whatever we do.
Yes.
That'll do great.
Thank you.
Can I say one more thing?
Sure.
I
We're way ahead of schedule.
I just want to clarify one thing, and people watching live stream, especially if it's somebody from fire service, why I'm not voting or making a comment about a certain thing. To the North Carolina state statute, where I'm serving as a fire chief in this county, I cannot vote on anything that has to do with a contract or money. So I just want everybody to understand I'm not trying to just get away from it, because I'm not, because I've been doing it for 48 years. But there's certain guidelines in the state statute that you have to follow once you become a county commissioner if you serve another position. And I currently serve fire chief in this county. So I just want everybody to understand that part. So the next time something comes up about money or anything like that, well, he's just trying to shun us off. No, I'm not. Read the state statute. I read it myself. It's in there, black and white.
You just tell them, throw me under the bus and tell them it's my fault. Say
Well-
Jennifer said I couldn't.
That's what I always do.
Well, no, Wayne even asked me,
We're
Wayne
used
took it
to it,
upon
right?
himself
Throw legal
too.
in the bus.
He could have been quietly voted and nothing said until somebody pointed it out. So I appreciate you mentioning it.
Yeah. Well, the only time it ever came up, if somebody had a problem, then it'd been a big ordeal.
course.
So I just want to go ahead and put the horse out in front of the cart, we can get it done with, you know.
Before we go to action, has anybody got anything else to say? Right. Let's move to the action. Which one's first, Amber?
We just have one, I believe, right? The fire commission appointments.
Is that the only one?
Yeah. But we can do the service member positions first. There are two positions, so you can pull and say both of them if you want. Mitchell and Wheeler. Are their names?
Wheeler.
Mitchell and Wheeler?
Mitchell and Wheeler. Mitchell and Wheeler.
Thank you. And then for the civilian position, there's only one position. Bert Osteen, who is the current fire commissioner, and then Josh Branscombe is a new applicant. So we just need one. Bert Osteen and Branscombe.
Osteen.
Osteen.
Interesting.
Thank you. Let me read the rationales.
Yeah, take us to close.
To consult with an attorney employed or retained by the public body in order to preserve the attorney-client privilege between the attorney and the public body, which privilege is hereby acknowledged pursuant to General Statute 143-318.11A3.
I'll make a motion to go into close.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Surely y'all don't need a break.
other business before we adjourn.
All right. Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second. All in favor? Aye.